Hey, senior consultants. Sorry I'm 2 minutes late. All right. So I saw a couple of you commenting that you were waiting anxiously for me to hop on. So that makes me happy that you're anticipating this time of the week that we have together. So let's get started. Say hi to me. Give me a call out as soon as you're on. And we are going to be doing part two and kind of a follow-up to our content last week, which was talking about helping your new consultants start strong, helping them reach their goals. And so that's what we're going to follow up to today. But we always want to start first with some celebration. We didn't have as many of you. Pam always goes on and looks for those of you that have posted through the week in terms of what you're celebrating. And so she let me know that one of you did post a celebration of signing a rookie or signing a new consultant since our last call, and that's Heather Witt. So congratulations, Heather. Woohoo! Heather may be on live because I know she was live with us last week. Heather was that person that clarified for all of us that dopamine is that chemical that's released in our brain when we are checking off things on our task list. So that's awesome. So yes, hello, good morning, Jennifer, and hi, Pam. Thanks for being here. Christy, Vanessa is giving both me and Pam a shout out. Lori, Christy, good to see you guys. So glad you're with me. And if you're watching the recording, I'm so glad that you're taking the time to invest. I will go ahead and say here, if you've tuned in here, but you haven't seen last week's video, go ahead, hit stop, go back to the video section and watch part one first, okay? Because this is only going to make sense to people that have watched part one. So Heather Witt, congratulations on sponsoring. And then I have some names that I asked our business intelligence team for. Those of you that have already recruited 2 in the month of April. Lisa Ricky, Karen Wojcik, I'm sorry, Karen. Kate Zielinski, Heather Labarge, Nicole Noyes, Dorna Hathaway, Melissa Seba, Carissa Rogers, and Emily Dame. And if I pronounce your name, I'm so sorry, but you are being celebrated for already recruiting 2. Now there's 99 senior consultants that have recruited at least 1 and added a team member. So keep going. I want to know, again, whether you're live with me or not, even if you're in the recording, I want you to tag me and let me know, and then Pam, actually tag Pam and I, okay, and say, walking the stage. That lets us know you're on track to either DIQ this month or you DIQ'd last month and you're promoting this month, okay? So walking the stage, just all you have to do is tag Pam and I and say walking the stage, and that means you're on track, you're still working towards it, and we want to stay in close touch with all of you. But if you're joining this call, this tells me that you want to walk the stage. Whether it's this year or next year, you are wanting to be a leader for the higher income, for the perks that come with it, and you're making this investment. So that says a lot. All right, so today again is part 2 of our training on strong starting new consultants. Let's just do a brief review of what we talked about last week. I first talked about your mindset and how what is your mindset around recruiting or sponsoring? Are you marketing the business opportunity as a deal or as an income opportunity? Also, mindset, taking yourself out of the equation, and sponsoring, thinking about impacting lives, making a difference, and helping that new consultant get what she wants. And those are 2 really important things in terms of mindset. We talked about organizing systems, kind of a system organization, and whether you are using a binder, whether you are electronic. There's different ways that you can organize your new consultant information. And then I, told you about tools that you have, on TOT that I highly recommend that will help you stay organized and give you that checklist of what you need to be tracking with the new consultant. So we have the new consultant contact sheet, the new consultant quick start worksheet. Now that's for both of you. Starting the conversation, that helps you walk through words to say with her. And then who do you know? And that helps you identify who is she going to contact to get her starting parties. Celebrate No is the final tool that I say is a must-have. So there's 4. Okay, there's 4 tools for her that and today I'm going to give you an example of what it looks like to walk through these goals. All right, so I'm seeing more of you commented. Walking the stage. So Margaret, Marlo, Debbie, oh, this is awesome. Nicole, congratulations. I'm so excited for you guys. Jenny says next year for sure. Vanessa, walking the stage, so excited for you guys. Okay, good. So if you're watching the recording, keep, tagging and letting us know. So we're just going to kind of dive in a little bit today, a little bit deeper into what does that sound like. Now, what you may have, and I actually just saw a comment that you have consultants that you're recruiting, but they aren't doing anything. And there could be, different reasons for that. You want to answer honestly. When I recruited that person, did I have influence over why she signed? Did I know why she signed? You have to give yourself grace when you have home office leads and they just automatically sign and you didn't have an opportunity to influence that. You have to, doesn't mean you still can't, attempt to work the strong start system with them, but give yourself grace. But if you signed a new consultant, let's say that you met at a party or that you've been working with as a customer or hostess and you signed her and she's not doing anything, then this call is for you. That is why we're walking through this, because it does take strategy and time to identify what is it that the new consultant wants and then how do I get her off and partying right away, okay? All right, so we have the new consultant contact sheet, and I told y'all this is for you. And this, you can do this manually, or I believe that you can also fill this in online, but you want to have one of these for every new consultant that comes into your G0, whether you sponsor her or not, okay? Because you're getting paid the same money on anyone in your G0, whether you sponsored them or not. So it's in your best interest to strong start all of them. Okay, so you have that. And then when you're having the strong start conversation, I'm just going to go ahead and just set you up. Remember, we talked about the income brochure and how when that recruiting conversation ends, that's where we're going to pick up today. When that recruiting conversation ends and you have her payday, remember what the final question was? Can anybody plug in really quick what the third question to the recruiting conversation is? We're going to pick up there. First to put it in is the winner. I don't know what you're winning, but you're winning some rah-rah from me. What is your third question to the recruiting conversation? Oh, I know one of y'all know. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, good. Several of you at one time. When do you want to get paid? Good. Heather, Lori, when do you want to get paid? Marlo, Melissa. Okay, you guys are working it. I love it. So when she says, and then remember you're giving her the choice between the 2 paydays that she could get paid. If I was recruiting today, I would give her the choice of April 25th or May the 10th. When do you want to have your first check? So when she selects that date, that's your yes. And then you say, oh, that's awesome. And then immediately in your mind, you're going to chapter 2. You're not going to say, this is chapter 2 of our conversation, but you're going to chapter 2, because if you did the 3-question interview correctly, it only took 10 to 15 minutes. It didn't take long. Okay, and ideally this is FaceTime, Zoom, in person. You know, it's a personal conversation if you're going to really strong start somebody. So then you move to chapter 2 immediately. As soon as you hear that date, then you're able to say, awesome, I'd love to know how much you want to make on that payday. So with $150, and this one question is the springboard into your chapter 2 of her Strong Start, okay? If every party represents $150 for, those are average sales, $150, how much would you want to make? Okay, I'm asking her in terms of money and not parties. Okay, do you see how I'm kind of backing into that? So when she sets the goal of, let's say, what's 3 times 150? 450. Is that right? 450? When she says, okay, 450, yeah, that's 3 parties. Yeah, I'd love to make 450. Because that 450, boy, that's a lot for her first paycheck. But then she thinks 3. And I say, oh yeah, you've got between now and April 15th to be able to do 3 parties, and I help you with that. So you want to set that as your goal, make a $450 check. All right, so she's decided that. The reason why I didn't ask, and I need to have a name here because when I role play, I have to call her name. It's what makes it personal. It's what makes a connection. You have to call a woman's name over and over. Okay, I'm gonna strong start Pam because I think I recruited her on a previous call. So we're gonna strong start Pam today. So I would just say, you know, instead of asking Pam how many parties do you want to do, when I say 1 party, what does that mean? I mean, how much time does that take, and how much is that going to give me? So this is where it's like when you say $450 and I say, oh, you only need to leave your house 3 times between now and April 15th, or you only need to set 3 nights aside if she's going to do an online party or whatever. You're helping her budget her time based on you know, what she said she wanted. Ladies, in 3 parties, we're just going to go with this hypothetical. If Pam does 3 parties at $600 in sales, then how much is she going to sell in her first month? Somebody, y'all be quick on that that type, because I like to know that you're engaged with me. If she does 3 parties at $600, that's our kind of around our average sales. How much has she sold? 6 times 3. I can even do that in my head. All right, I'm going to wait for that. Whatever amount you're about to see on the screen, it's far past qualification. Thank you, Marlo, 1,800. Far past qualification. And what you're doing, if your qualification rate is not 50% or more, if you're not qualifying at least half or more of your consultants, that tells me, thank you, I'm so glad all of you you're right with me. That tells me that you're, again, I said this last call, you're getting what you're asking for. And if you are using words like, all you have to do is, or why don't we start with working to sell 1,000 and you can do that in about 2 parties. Now, you're goal setting her. And most of the time, and I am coming from a place of experience here, I'm telling you, this is the approach I always took. My qualification rate was 98%. Never goal set them. You let them. And most of the time, my new consultant said 4. They wanted to do 4 parties, 1 a week before their next paycheck. But what if you're afraid you're going to be pushy? You're not being pushy when she's decided. Okay, so again, we know her payday, and then we're just saying, if you get $150 for each average party between now and April 15th, how much would you like to make? All right, how do y'all feel about that question? Do you like that? Yeah, Lori says $450 in her pocket, just like that. Do you think Pam is going to continue in the business when she's made that much money like that? Yes. Okay. And especially because you're going to continue with that conversation. So I'm doing some elaborating, but keep in mind, this is not going to take long. You just found out what she wants to make. You broke that down to 3 parties. Then you're able to say, all right, Pam, so my job is right now to help you find who those 3 hostesses will be and for you to feel confident with how to get those parties. So we're going to use your who do you know list, right? You can email that to her. Actually, it comes in her kit, in her starter guide. So all she has to do is open it up. And I am a strong advocate of doing this with her. Okay, I always did this with every new consultant that walked through with me, and I had some fun with it. I said, all right, we're going to do this really fast. In 3 minutes, we are going to come up with as many names as possible. Okay, and then you say, I'm going to give you a category. When you hear the category, write down the first name of every person you think of in that category. Okay, and then by the end of 3 minutes, let's see how many names you have down. So then I go through the Frank's list. And I don't introduce Frank to her. She doesn't care who Frank is. I just say friends. First name of friends. And no prejudging, doesn't matter where they live, just your friends. And then she's writing. You give her about 30 seconds, okay? Then you say relatives. Who are you related to? First names. You let her 30 seconds. Business associates, okay? People you've worked with before or working with now. So you're going through in for neighbors. That means anybody that lives in your vicinity or you network with and socialize with in your community. Okay, give her 30 seconds. Kids, spouse, and people related to your spouse. Okay, so if she finishes that, it's taken about 3 minutes, and then you're able to count that up. She's gonna put, from my experience, she has anywhere from 24 to 35 names there. All right, so that's it, great. And she's got a visual in front of her. Say, okay, these are the people that could potentially be your starting parties. Now, would you be interested, Pam? Listen to how I do this. Okay, you ready? Would you be interested, Pam, in making an extra 150 by having your own launch party, and then these people, 3 of these people, building that, and then your check would actually be 600. Now, do you see how I gave her an option? And then she may say, no, I don't think I could do the 4. So, okay, great. You're going to be, do you want to do your own launch party and make that the first one? And give her a choice. The woman has to decide. Don't tell the woman what she's going to do. She has to decide. So no matter what she chooses, then you say, well, that means we need 2 people on this list to say yes, or we need 3 people on this list to say yes. And so, Pam, I'd like you to pull out your starting the conversation. And by the way, we have TOT 2.0 coming, but I am working right now with communications to try to get all these tools in one place, okay, so that your new consultant can go on the new consultant page, and I'd like it to be called Toolbox, and that's what I'm requesting, is that she just goes to that first page and that she can print out her toolbox, and it would be the pages that you're referencing, okay? So then, but again, these are emailable, so you can electronically send them to her. So these are some words to say, Pam, that kind of can guide the conversation depending on who you're talking to. A friend, a family member, it's all right here. But Pam, what's most important is just that you're excited, and it's okay to ask them to help you, because these are people that love you. These are people that want to help. They know you, and just say, I would love to help you get our products for free, and you would be helping me start my business. It's that simple. Now, the other tool, Pam, that I want you to know about for these conversations is our Celebrate No tracker, because we love to hear no in our business. So it is actually a very positive word. And at first it will feel kind of awkward to be celebrating that somebody told you they didn't want to have a party, but it is a numbers game. And so you've got boxes to check here. And so the names that you put here are going to move over here because you're going to say, Aunt Susie, or I might say, give me a name of a friend on your list, and she'll give me Susie's name, and I'll go, okay, well, Susie may say no. So then you just put Susie's name here and then check off, nope, she didn't want to have a party. And that's a good thing, because 1 in 10 are going to say yes. And chances are, because these are your friends and family, you might get a yes sooner than 1 in 10. But I just want you to know that it's okay to hear no. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong, that there's nothing wrong with you, that I today, even after this many years in the business, still hear no. All right, so, and then I'm gonna sidebar here for training. If you can, and I wish I had this opportunity when I was in the business. We didn't have cell phones. I know I don't look that old. I know. I know. I'll stay humble about that. But I wish that I would have had cell phones back then where my team could have, or my new consultants could have texted me the word no every time they heard no. I wouldn't do that for my whole team, but any new consultant that's strong starting until she gets her first check, I want her texting me every time she's hearing the word no, so I can reply back with an emoticon, or I can reply back with a, you know, a GIF or whatever. The point is that you want to teach her that we celebrate it, and that means she's doing something. And then of course you would say, and then of course send me your yeses. That right there is going to tell you how engaged she is in this start. Now, I'm telling you a lot about what I used to do because this is my passionate area. If I had the qualification rate that I did, it's because I was super passionate about the success of my new consultants, and I had great retention, and they stayed with me, and it's just the facts that how they do in their first 30 days impacts. And remember, I gave you that visual last week. If they, by the end of 30 days, they've decided which path they're going on. Are they going into your consistent sellers, or are they going to your casual sellers, and you have to consider them part of the third going? You have 30 days to decide that. Okay, so whether she's texting you or not is really giving you a heads up as to where she's headed and the impact that you can have with that. All right, where was I going? All right, so we introduced celebrate no to her, and she's going to track those. So if you're willing to get those texts back from her, you can kind of be cheering her on. After she has reached her goal and has the bookings, not before. After, then you're able to say, look what you did. How would you like to book one more to build in that cushion? Because unfortunately, we have cancellations. One of these is going to probably reschedule or cancel, and this way we want to guarantee that check is $450. So worst case scenario, Pam, you don't get any cancellations and you get a $600 check. So do you want to just add one more? Maybe we could just make it even an online party. So what we're doing is we're teaching her to overbook right from the beginning. Now, do you think this new consultant that, you know, she's off to a good start? She's learned we celebrate now, we overbook, right? These are really good things for her to know at the beginning. Has the word qualification or PICA come out of my mouth? No. So we have given her this tool, the Quick Start Worksheet. It's her visual. This is her dopamine releaser. Okay, remember we talked about that last week. We want to allow her to get some dopamine going when she's writing down her success. And that is where she's kind of putting in the date of her launch, the date of her other parties. And then we give her a place to do the math. My enrollment month, I plan to make $450 in commission. Then she's got the visual of how that translates to wishes. Okay? Now, if she has told you, by the way, in her interview that product is her why, and that's like she's so excited about product, then you're going to lean heavier towards, okay, not only in that first party, you know, will you make this much money, but by party 2, you will have, you know, already earned wishes. And so you're able to kind of lean on wishes a little bit more if she's product driven, okay? You just talk her language. That's all I'm saying. She has a language. It's income, product, or experience and fun. You got to talk her language, and that will motivate her. Let me see if you guys have any comments or questions. A toolbox would be amazing. Thank you for TOT 2.0. Yeah, the new consultant journey, I mean, she's going to have her whole journey is going to look different in TOT 2.0. We are going to be hand-holding her. So with the guidance I'm giving you today and her experience on TOT, it's going to be a win, okay? Any questions in our last few minutes together? Again, a summary of what a Strong Start conversation is identifying her income goal, her payday. We found out her payday, then we shift to income goal. Then we identify who, remember who is the who do you know list, and what is her conversation, what is she going to say? So who is she going to contact? What is she going to say? And then by the way, I used to not submit their agreement, and I did not, give them instruction on how to submit the agreement until she had those parties booked. That's just the way I did it. And I framed it as, I take your investment very seriously, and I know you're going to feel great when your business is in place before you make that investment. And they just didn't have a problem with it. I mean, because I had marketed an income opportunity. So it's up to you. You're the boss. You get to decide that. But even if you do go ahead and submit her agreement, it still is good to have a very measurable goal. So don't just send her off to collect no's and text you no's without a goal date. So, because we're on a timeline, which she set. Remember, she set the timeline for when she wanted to get paid. So to say, yeah, we want to make sure we have the kit back by this date, and we have your first party by this date. So we want to have all of our no's collected by this date. And then I always encourage my new consultants, this could be the last time you're having to cold call or make cold contacts, because I'm going to be talking to you and teaching you how to get your bookings at the party. If you hostess coach correctly, you'll have the people there. And then if we don't submit a party without a party attached to it, then you're going to always stay in business. I think I told y'all the little fib that I used to tell new consultants, like, can't submit a party, that thing won't send unless you have a booking attached to it. Have a little fun with that. All right, any final questions? Was this helpful to you guys? Colette says, I strong started myself. Motivation is so important. Good. All right, great. Any closing questions on this Strong Start conversation? Mandy says, I love how this is totally focused on her needs, her wants. When we take ourselves out, it goes so much further. That's exactly what I said in terms of mindset. Your mindset has to be, this is not about me. And that is where remarkable recruiters are. Those are the ones that are really all heart, but they can bring the head into it, and they can help her strategize her success. Always helpful. It looks like Heather and Pam are dialoguing, so that's good. Income brochure is a great tool. Okay, so helpful. Great. Okay, good. All right, well, our time is up. So what I want y'all to do, and you can continue in this thread even after I'm offline, is to tell me a suggested last topic, because next week will be our last week together, I believe. Yes, our last Monday. And so I have told y'all, I feel like I have covered from the very beginning foundationally what it takes to promote that consistent party schedule, remarkable recruiting, interview, and now Strong Start. You have the big picture. But I want you to just make sure you go ahead and post in here. Is there something you would want me to review that I have already been through with you or talk through again? Or anything that you're like, oh, you didn't really cover this. So anything you want me to repeat or re-review, I'm going to factor your input. And I'm also going to connect with Pam and just kind of get her thoughts around what is the very last thing that I want to say to you guys, because our timing, it's all about this month. You need to be DIQing to promote next month. And I feel like we've got your toolbox full. All right. Mandy has already put one in there, retaining your team. So that's a great, we can definitely talk a little bit more about that, because a lot of what we talked about today is retention. Yeah, keep it simple. I like Pam's advice there. Good. All right. You guys have a great week. I hope you had a wonderful Easter, and I hope you're enjoying spring. Go release some dopamine and check off some checklists and get some things done, income producing. All right. Bye, y'all. See you next week.